What if something already in your kitchen could play a small role in how your brain feels every day? Not a complicated treatment, not an expensive solution, just a simple habit repeated over time. As we get older, many people notice changes in memory, focus, and mental clarity. And while that can be normal, what most people don't realize is how much daily habits can influence the brain. In this video, you'll discover a simple ingredient that has been used for centuries, why people are talking about it again today, and how it may fit into a healthy routine. Stay until the end, because this small habit could change the way you think about your daily routine. Chapter 1. Why Brain Health Changes. After 500 words. As you get older, your body changes. That's natural. But one of the most important changes happens quietly, in your brain. You may start to notice small differences, forgetting names more often, losing track of thoughts, taking a bit longer to process information. At first it feels minor, nothing alarming, but over time, these small changes can become more noticeable. Now here's something important. This doesn't happen suddenly. Brain changes are gradual. They develop over years, sometimes even decades. And during that time, your daily habits play a major role. What you eat, how you sleep, how active you are, how you manage stress. All of these influence how your brain functions. After the age of 50, your body becomes more sensitive to these factors. Recovery may take longer, energy levels may fluctuate, and your brain may need more support than before. But here's the key point. This is not just about aging. Two people can be the same age and experience very different levels of mental clarity. One stays sharp, focused, and active. The other struggles with memory and concentration. Why? Because of lifestyle, repeated daily habits. Over time, your brain is like a system. It adapts to what you give it. If you support it consistently, it responds positively. If you neglect it, it becomes less efficient. Now let's talk about something most people overlook. Internal stress. Not just emotional stress, but what happens inside your body every day. Your brain is constantly working, processing information, managing tasks, responding to your environment. And without proper support, this constant activity can create imbalance over time. Another key factor is nutrition. Your brain needs specific nutrients to function properly. Without them, clarity may decrease, focus may weaken, energy may drop. And here's where things get interesting. Some natural ingredients have been used for centuries, not just for taste, but for their potential supportive properties. Small additions to daily routines, simple, accessible, easy to maintain, and one of these ingredients is often overlooked. In the next chapter, we'll explore this simple spice and why more people are starting to pay attention to it. Chapter 2. The Spice. Most people overlook 500 words. The ingredient we're talking about is simple, small, easy to find, and often ignored. Cloves. You've probably seen them before, in the kitchen, in tea, in traditional recipes, a small dark spice with a strong aroma. At first glance, nothing special, but when you look closer, it becomes more interesting. Cloves have been used for centuries, not just for flavor, but also in traditional practices across different cultures. And today, they're getting attention again. Why? Because of what they contain. One of the main compounds found in cloves is called eugenol. This natural compound has been studied for its properties, including its role as an antioxidant. Now let's keep this simple. Your body is constantly active. Every day, it deals with internal stress, not just emotional stress, but what happens inside your cells. Over time, this can affect how your system functions, and that includes your brain. Antioxidants help support your body in maintaining balance. They don't fix everything. They don't replace a healthy lifestyle, but they can be part of a supportive routine. And cloves are known to contain a high amount of these compounds. That's why some people include them in their daily habits, not as a miracle solution, but as a small addition, something simple, something consistent. Now here's something important to understand. Cloves are strong, very strong, both in taste and concentration. so they're not used in large amounts. Usually it's something like 1 or 2 cloves in hot water added to tea, occasionally mixed into coffee, small quantities. That's enough. Because the goal is not intensity, it's consistency. Another reason cloves are interesting is their versatility. They fit easily into daily routines. No complicated preparation, no expensive products, just a simple ingredient already found in many homes. But here's the key point. Cloves are not a shortcut. They are not a treatment. They are part of a bigger picture, a balanced lifestyle. And this is where many people get it wrong. They look for one ingredient to do everything. But your body doesn't work that way. It responds to patterns, to habits, to consistency over time. So instead of asking, is this ingredient powerful? A better question is, does this fit into a healthy routine? And in the case of cloves, the answer can be yes, when used properly, when used in moderation, and when combined with good habits. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to use cloves safely and what you need to be careful about before adding them to your routine. Chapter 3, How to Use Cloves Safely, 500 words. Now that you know why cloves are getting attention, let's talk about something even more important, how to use them the right way. Because even natural ingredients can be misused, and when that happens, you don't get benefits, you get problems. So the goal here is simple. Keep it safe, keep it moderate, keep it consistent. First, understand this. Cloves are very concentrated. They may look small, but they are powerful. That's why you don't need much. In most cases, people use 1 to 2 cloves per day, infused in hot water or tea, occasionally added to coffee. That's enough. There is no need to increase the amount. More does not mean better. In fact, using too much can be uncomfortable for your body. Now let's talk about something many people ignore. Your body is unique. Not everyone reacts the same way. Some people tolerate cloves very well. Others may feel sensitivity, especially if used in excess. So the best approach is simple. Start small. Observe how you feel. Adjust if needed. Another important point is timing. Some people prefer using cloves in the morning, others in the evening. There's no strict rule. What matters is consistency and how your body responds. Now here's something critical. Cloves are not for everyone. If you have specific health conditions, or if you are taking medication, it's always better to be cautious. Not because cloves are dangerous in normal amounts, but because interactions can exist, and being aware is always better than guessing. Also, avoid using highly concentrated forms without understanding them. Clove oil, for example, is much stronger than whole cloves. It's not the same thing, and it should be used carefully. Now let's be very clear about one thing. Cloves are not a treatment. They are not a cure. They are not a replacement for medical advice. They are simply a supportive habit, a small addition to a bigger lifestyle, and keeping that mindset is important. Because your health is not based on one ingredient. It's based on everything you do daily. Sleep, nutrition, movement, stress management, all of it matters. Cloves just fit into that system. They don't replace it. So use them wisely, use them simply, and most importantly, use them consistently. In the next chapter, we'll look at the bigger picture, how this small habit fits into a complete approach to supporting your brain and overall well-being. Chapter 4, The Bigger Picture of Brain Health, 500 words. Now let's be clear about something important. No single ingredient will define your brain health. Not cloves, not any supplement, not any secret trick. Your brain responds to a combination of habits, and this is where most people get it wrong. They focus on one thing and ignore everything else. But your body doesn't work in isolation. Everything is connected. Let's start with the foundation, sleep. Your brain does essential work while you sleep. It organizes information, processes memories, resets your system. Without quality sleep, everything else becomes less effective. Even the best habits won't fully compensate. Next is nutrition. Your brain needs proper fuel, balanced meals, variety, consistency. It's not about perfection. It's about giving your body what it needs regularly. Cloves? They're just a small part of that picture. Another key factor is movement. Your brain and body are deeply connected. When you move your body, you support your brain. Walking, light exercise, stretching. You don't need extreme workouts, just regular movement. Then there's mental stimulation. Your brain needs to be used. Reading, learning, thinking, having conversations. Challenging your mind keeps it active, strong, responsive. Now let's talk about something very important: stress management. Chronic stress affects how your brain functions. It impacts focus, memory, clarity, and over time, it creates imbalance. That's why moments of calm matter. Taking breaks, slowing down, giving your mind space. These are not luxuries, they are necessities. And finally, consistency. This is the most powerful factor of all, not what you do once, but what you repeat every day. Because your brain adapts, it responds to patterns. If your routine supports it, it becomes stronger, more efficient, more resilient. Now here's where everything connects. Adding cloves to your routine? That's a small habit. But when combined with good sleep, balanced nutrition, regular movement, mental activity, reduced stress, it becomes part of something bigger, a system, a lifestyle. And that's where real results come from. Not from one magic ingredient, but from many small actions working together. In the final chapter, we'll bring everything together and show how simple daily habits can create long-term benefits for your brain and overall well-being. Chapter 5. Small Habits, Long-Term Brain Support, 500 words. At this point, everything becomes clear. Your brain is not shaped by one single action, but by what you do every day. Small habits, repeated consistently, that's what creates long-term results. Most people are looking for something powerful, something fast, something that changes everything overnight. But your brain doesn't work that way. It responds to patterns, to routines, to what you repeat over time. And that's where the real power is, not in complexity, but in consistency. Now think about everything we've covered: sleep, nutrition, movement, mental stimulation, stress management, and yes, even small additions like cloves. Each one may seem simple, but together, they create a strong foundation, a supportive system. And over time, that system shapes how your brain functions, how you think, how you focus, how you remember. Now here's something important. You don't need to do everything perfectly. You don't need a strict routine. You don't need extreme discipline. You just need a better routine, better than before, better than yesterday. Because progress is what matters, not perfection. Another key point is awareness. Now you understand something many people ignore, and once you understand, you start noticing more. How your energy changes, how your focus improves, how your mind feels clearer. These are signals. Your brain communicating with you, telling you what works and what doesn't. So listen to it, adjust when needed, improve step by step, and over time, you build a routine that truly supports you, not something forced, not something complicated, just something consistent. And finally, remember this: your goal is not just to avoid decline, it's to stay sharp, clear, present, to think better, to feel better, to live better. And it all starts with simple choices. Every day. Final outro, call to action. If this video helped you, don't forget to subscribe to Smart Health Tips for more simple and powerful health advice. Like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, and send this to someone who needs this. Take care of your brain, and your future self will thank you.